What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Friday. We did it. We made it to another Friday. Man, this has been a trying week. This has been a very, very trying week. Man, I tell you, when as the week went on, I just got more tireder and tireder and tireder. I know tireder is not an actual word, but I was tired, y'all. I was very, very tired. Very, very tired. But I'm here, and I do thank you all so much for rocking with me. Guys, we got a great show to share with you all today. I hope y'all are going to be interested in it. We're going to be talking about a couple of things. We're going to talk about some people who are like back like they never left, kind of. And we're going to also talk about some players that are still out with injury and what in the world is going on with the Connecticut Sun, because yeah, that squad is out right now. Okay, so we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more, so I hope y'all are ready for it. And again, thank you guys so much for rocking with this channel. You all make this the awesome place to be every single morning, and I do thank you for that. From the wild and funny comments to y'all hitting that like and subscribe, I really do appreciate your support. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome to Quita in the Mornings. My name is Quita. We are in the mornings, and we're going to talk about some women's hoops. So buckle up, get ready, grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your bottle of water, and let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right, so we first start off with the first topic of the day, which is Sue Bird. So at this point, you all should know who Sue Bird is. She is, guys, Sue Bird is a very, very accomplished former player. Sue Bird is somebody who won 5 Olympic gold medals. She won 4 World Cup gold medals. This is someone who played for, I believe, 21 years on Team USA. And now, Sue Bird is not just back with Team USA. She is indeed running the show. That is right. Sue Bird has been named the first ever managing director for the U.S. women's national team for basketball. This is a gigantic deal, right? This is not just a made-up title. Guys, this is allowing more sort of equal footing to what the men are doing on the national team. And I think this is awesome. I think this is really, really great that we're seeing this in U.S. basketball. And we're going to talk about specifically what that means in just a sec. But like overall, it's big. This is big. So now Sue Bird is going to be one of she's going to be the big name that's making all of the big calls when it comes to U.S. women's basketball. That means that she's going to be deciding who makes the team, who doesn't, what the plan is for the future, development of players. Like that's something that she's going to be worried about and thinking about. And I think this is great. I think this is really, really great. So let's talk about what this means for Sue Bird herself, what this means for Team USA basketball, and what this means just for the future of women's hoops internationally. And whether or not the U.S. can still stay on top. So before we get into that, I do want to just do a quick recap for those who may not be aware of Sue Bird. Sue Bird is hands down one of the most decorated players ever, period. Actually, Sue Bird is one of the most decorated basketball players ever. And that's straight facts. Right? Her USA basketball record, get ready for this. USA basketball record, 149 wins. 149 wins. 8 losses. 8 losses, guys. In her entire USA basketball career, 8 losses. It's kind of wild, isn't it? Like, I mean, can you imagine playing in on the same team for 21 years, and in that time span, you have only lost 8 games? I'm just saying. 149 wins, 8 losses. That is a wild stat, guys. 5 Olympic gold medals, guys. 4 FIBA World Cup gold medals. A FIBA World Cup bronze medal. The most decorated FIBA athlete in the world. Okay? This is someone who has done just about everything there is to do, male or female, when it comes to international basketball. Right? And this is a cool USA basketball stat. It says, among U.S. all-time World Cup competition records, Sue Bird ranks first in assists with 107, 5th in steals, which I just find wild. I wouldn't think she'd be 5th in steals, with 38. And she's tied for 10th in points with 188 in terms of World Cup competition records. Now, this is not the Olympics, but this is for the World Cup. And she is one of 12 players to have ever won a gold medal in the Olympics, a gold medal in the World Cup, and a WNBA championship and a NCAA championship. Like, one of 12 to ever do that as well. Basically, I can go on and on and on and on and on when it comes about the accolades for a player like a Sue Bird. Okay? I can go on, right? She's done it all. Won at the Olympic level, won at the World Cup level, won when it came to EuroLeague success as well. This is someone who, back when Sue Bird was playing, she went overseas quite a bit, right? And she won she played for Ekaterinburg. This was a very famed Russian team that a lot of WNBA players played for. She played for them and won with them as well, right? This is also someone in the WNBA who won as well. Like, this is it's just a lot when it comes to the success of Sue Bird. I mean, dog, it's just. It's wild to just see what she was able to accomplish internationally. And then you go to the WNBA, won some championships in the WNBA with the Seattle Storm, right? This is someone who has been great, right? Won 2, I believe it was 2 championships she won at UConn. Then went to Seattle, and her and Lauren Jackson did their thing. They won. And then Lauren Jackson, left and then got Stewie. And, I'm just saying, this is someone who just consistently has been surrounded by winners. That is straight up for sure. Hello, Connect. Yeah, she's a winner. She is a winner. Okay. She is a winner. Henry says the WNBA was great back then. It was. Yeah, it was. I agree. I'm telling you, the old school. It's not even old school, but anyway. Back when I forgot what championship it was. I made a highlight video about it at the time, but the Seattle Storm roster where it was Lauren Jackson, Sue Bird. They had Swin Cash on that team. Their head coach was Brian Agler. I'm blanking on some of the other names of the players who were on that team. They won a championship that year. And that old school version of the Seattle Storm, that was my favorite team. I love that team. I was such a huge fan of that team. Henry says, I first got into the WNBA when Sue Bird and Lauren Jackson played together with the Storm. What a duo. Yes. And I'm going to say this once, and that's going to be it. Lauren Jackson was one of the best players to ever, one of the best women basketball players to ever play the game. And the amount of people who don't know her name and don't know what she did, I find wild. Anyway, this has nothing to do with Lauren Jackson. This is about Sue Bird. So let's get back to it. Sue Bird basically was phenomenal. She just was, right? You know, 2 titles at UConn. I believe, what was it, 4? I believe in the WNBA. You got the EuroLeague success. You got the USA basketball success. She's done a little bit of everything, really. So, because of her success on the court, and because of her involvement with USA basketball was like, you know what, Sue, we actually want to create a title for you. We want you to be involved in creating the future for USA basketball. And so they're like, hey, you are going to be the managing director. And it's like, okay, well, what in the world is the managing director? Did you just make that up? Like, what in the world is that thing? Well, it's a brand new role. It's a role that was made up for this team. And you can kind of think of it as a general manager. Basically, the managing director, I don't know why they just didn't call it, why they just didn't call it a general manager. I don't get it, but whatever. But she's the managing director. It's basically a GM role for USA basketball, but with maybe a little bit more power, maybe. All right. Now, Sue Bird, in her responsibilities, she's going to be responsible for choosing the new head coach for USA basketball. Now, we'll talk more about the head coach role in a second, but that's going to be one of her roles, right? She's also going to be picking the players that's going to be on the roster for USA basketball competitions. She's going to be overseeing training camps that happen. Usually there's a couple of training camps that happen in preparation to, big competitions, and Sue Bird is going to be there. She's going to be in charge of mapping that stuff out. What does that look like? All those details. Also, she's going to be helping to plan the roster for the upcoming FIBA Women's World Cup that's happening. And then also, she's going to be tasked with building a team for the 2028 Olympics that is happening in the U.S. So the U.S. got to win. I mean, we've been winning for forever, but we got to win that one for sure. And so that's basically what she will be doing, right? A thing to note is that a lot of this stuff that she's going to be assigned with doing, that was actually previously handled by committee. So you all may remember, this was a big deal. Last year, this was a huge deal, the controversy of the committee and their selections and whatnot. Usually, women's a lot of the decisions for Team USA for the women was determined by committee. Now, Sue Bird is going to be the person who has the ultimate power to determine what happens, right? USA basketball has kind of scrapped that previous committee model. Now it's going to be on Sue Bird. Sue Bird is going to decide what happens. Just kind of I believe Grant Hill is in a similar role for USA men's basketball. Hey, Sue Bird is going to be the single person steering the ship for USA basketball for women, and so that's kind of cool. Anyway, let's kind of continue to talk about this because there's quite a bit of pressure, I would say, on Sue Bird. The reason why is because USA women's basketball, we haven't lost. We haven't lost a Olympic or World Cup game since 2006. USA basketball on the women's side has been absolutely dominant. Absolutely dominant. But the gap is closing. Other countries are getting better and better and better and better at women's basketball. They are. And we saw it. We saw it in this past Olympics where France was this close. What was it, Gabby Williams with that shot? This close to taking down Team USA. Parity is here in a lot of ways in an international game. You got France, you got Belgium, You always have Australia, though Australia, has been surpassed, I would say, by those other two countries, in a lot of ways. Like this is a thing that the USA has to worry about, right? Gold medal in Paris, they won by 1 point. They won by 1 point. Okay, could have tied it if Gabby Williams' foot was just a little bit back, a little bit further back. They could have tied it up, and maybe US would have lost. My point is the sheer dominance that Team USA has had over the years. Again, since 2006, like this team, they don't lose major competitions. They don't lose them. And now that it is not a committee deciding it, and now that it's all on Sue Bird, it is a lot of pressure. Like you have to admit, I would say, there's a lot of pressure for that, right? It makes it a tough job, right? In a lot of ways, it kind of is a no-win situation, right? Here's the deal. Yes, there is an expectation that Team USA for women's basketball is going to win the gold every single time. Right? And because she is the one making the final call on the rosters, no more selection committee drama, right? The decision is all Sue Bird. And so, pressure. But, as they say, pressure makes diamonds, I guess, right? Anyway, one thing that Sue Bird really has to determine really quickly is coaching and what's next. Right now, Cheryl Reeve, she actually just finished up being the head coach for Team USA. She was the head coach for the Olympics. Usually after the Olympics, they select a new head coach. So will it be Cheryl Reeve again? Probably not. Will it be somebody else? Likely. We'll see what happens. Sue Bird can decide to bring back Cheryl Reeve for another stint as the head coach, but we'll ultimately see what she does. That's the next big domino. That's the next thing that Sue Bird has to figure out is who in the world is going to be the head coach. Okay, so that's the thing. Sue has not announced a coaching staff yet for the next cycle of USA basketball. She's thinking about it. She's trying to figure out what she wants to do. There's no shortage of top-tier head coaches, right? In both the WNBA and in the college ranks, there are a lot of options for Sue Bird to choose from, and there's a lot of coaches who are already in the system for USA basketball. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what she ultimately decides to do from here. But yeah, that's the story. Sue Bird is USA basketball through and through. And now she is going to be spearheading the next generation of USA basketball. This is not just like a random return for a star player. I think this is a transition from being primarily a doer on the court to being an architect in a lot of ways for what the future looks like for USA basketball. So what do you think? Can Sue Bird help to keep Team USA on top? Should she keep Cheryl Reeve as the head coach for Team USA? Who's on your wish list for the next head coach for Team USA? I'd be curious to hear you all's thoughts on all of that. Just put it in the comments, put it in the chat, and we'll see what some of you all have to say. Jason says France will be a major problem. I completely agree. Yeah. KSL says USA dominance has lifted the other national teams. Bird knows this. That's why she's that's okay. So you're basically KSL saying is Sue Bird is leading the charge for the future. Okay. Joe Hart says, yay, I caught you live. Cool. Well, yeah, you caught me live. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Thank you. Shay says over 400 in the chat, less than 100 likes. Let's get those likes up. Yes, please listen to Shay and hit that like button. Again, it really does help the channel out a whole lot. Okay. Thank you. Let's see what else y'all have to say. Mika says the new team will be stacked. I'm sure. Blair says Gino ? I hope not. See, here's the thing. Gino's a fantastic coach. He is. Everybody knows that. But I believe he's had 2 stints already as the head coach of Team USA, and he's getting older. Like I would love for some young, like a young, I want to say young bloods to come in and have somebody be the head coach like that. Like Gino Auriemma, will eventually be retired soon. I don't know. I would like someone younger. Now Gino is a great coach. He still is. Has been for forever. Still is. So no shade to him at all. I'm just saying from like an age factor. I just want somebody younger. Like I just would love a younger coach. Okay. I think that would be awesome. Don was, has been with Team USA for a long time, Valerie says Sue would do a great job, 1,000%. I'm thinking Hammond as coach. Here's the thing, though. The only thing about Becky Hammond, I don't know if Team USA does it, because do y'all remember like back in the day when Becky Hammond, like Team USA wasn't checking for Becky Hammond at all. They weren't. They were like, nah, we got more talented players that could be on our team. And so Becky Hammond wanted to play, I believe she wanted to play in the Olympics or whatever. And so she became a Russian citizen to play for Team Russia in international competition because Team USA didn't want her. And I would be surprised if Team USA was like, you know what, Becky, we want you as our head coach. I would be very, very surprised. I really don't think it is likely that we will see Becky Hammond as a head coach of Team USA because of her previous decision to join the Russian national team and to play for the Olympics, right? I just don't see it happening. Yes, Becky's fantastic. Yes, Becky would do a great job as the head coach of the USA national team. I just don't think it's likely. Now, if we take out women's basketball and we look at any other sport, we have people who rep other countries who coach USA national teams. Like, that's the thing. Like in soccer, we've seen quite a bit, right? Where we see foreign coaches coach Team USA, right? That's not a shocker. But for basketball, it does not happen. Basketball, it does not happen. Where often, at least I cannot remember the last time we had somebody. Peg, that's what I said. Yeah, she joined them because Team USA didn't want her. Team USA was like, actually, we have way more talent, and so we're not gonna pick you up on our team. That's the tough part about being an American when it comes to basketball, is like you may not be good enough to play for Team USA, and so you have to make the decision on, do you join another team or not, right? And so I don't see. I don't see that happening for Team USA. Like I just don't. I just don't see that happening. All right. But Kara Lawson, I would really like Kara Lawson as the head coach. I think that would be really, really fun. Kara Lawson. I'm saying Stephanie Miller or Stephanie White as well. Okay, I'm saying Cheryl Miller. Okay. I like Cheryl Miller. Like, Cheryl Miller can be an assistant coach or something. I don't see Cheryl Miller being a head coach. Mainly because, like, she hasn't coached in a really long time. So I don't see them doing that. I don't see them doing that. But Stephanie White would be cool. But I mean, first up on my list is Kara Lawson. That's first up on my list. First up on my list as head coach. Okay, first up. Okay, anyway. Keep sharing your comments. I'm curious to hear what you all have to say. Okay. Next up, Chennedy Carter is back. She is back. Back like she never left. This time, not in the U.S., but, a little bit further south in Mexico. Chennedy Carter just made her debut in Mexico over the last couple of days, and she did really well. She did really, really well. In her first game ever in Mexico, she had 16 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. That's a cool double-double. In her first game with Adelitas de... I can't pronounce the name of it. But anyway, she plays for a team, Adelitas. They play in the Mexican Women's Pro League, the LNBPF. This team, in her first game where she had a double-double, they beat the team they were going against. And so, yeah, that's cool. But the real story that I want to talk about, is why in the world is Chennedy Carter even in Mexico? Why? Why is someone who was dominating the WNBA last year overseas? Why? How in the world did she end up there? Because Chennedy Carter is one of the most electric, but also one of the most controversial and misunderstood players in women's basketball today. So, let's talk about it. So, Chennedy Carter was a star from day one. Star, absolute star. At Texas A&M, she was fantastic, like really, really good. We saw flashes of Allen Iverson in Chennedy Carter's game. From day one in college, we knew that she was fantastic. She was drafted, I believe, number 4 overall in 2020 with the Atlanta Dream. And after a dominant college career, she was good as a rookie. Made the all-rookie team. Looked like she was going to be like the next big thing in the WNBA. But then she was suspended indefinitely, I believe, for conduct detrimental to the team. There was reports that she had a altercation with a teammate. Then she made a stint over to the LA Sparks, where the pattern in a lot of ways repeated. She was benched, and then she was waived. And it was like, wow, this player is extremely talented. We know how good she is. What happened? And of course, rumors galore and whatnot. But it's what happened. Benched, waived. Now she's out the WNBA. Then comes Chicago and Teresa Weatherspoon, where Teresa was like, actually, Chennedy, we want you back in this league. I'm signing you to a training camp contract. She signs to a training camp contract, and then she puts up career high numbers for the Chicago Sky last year, where Chennedy Carter really put the team on her back several times and absolutely dominated, guys. Absolutely dominated. Last season in the WNBA, Chennedy Carter averaged her career high 17.5 points a game. I believe that was 12th in the WNBA at the time. And kind of let that sink in. This is a top 15 scorer in the WNBA. When you're thinking about efficiency, yeah, she's efficient. She shoots 48% from the field. And a lot of those shots are tough buckets. She's not a three-point shot maker, but she's someone who can go downhill and get a bucket anytime. Right? But still, no team re-signed her. Not even the Chicago Sky. And her then head coach, Teresa Weatherspoon, was fired, basically. And so, yes, can you point to some stuff? Sure, you can point to the Caitlin Clark flagrant foul that wasn't called a flagrant foul in the moment, but was called a flagrant foul later. You can point to the time where I can't remember exactly who was doing the press. They were doing after a Sky game was over. It was a press scrum where they were asking Sky players questions, and then you heard a lot of commotion that was seemingly from the locker room, and there were rumors around Chennedy Carter and her locker room compatibility with the rest of the players, with just like stuff that's going on. And yeah, she addressed some of that stuff, and yeah, she said like she, that some of that stuff was wrong and blah, 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 blah. But you get what I'm saying. Basically, there was a lot of stuff surrounding Chennedy last year that had nothing to do with her actual performance on the court. Because her actual performance on the court, in terms of just buckets, was great. It really was. It really was. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. But Chennedy Carter's reputation, it was already shaky before last year. It just took another hit. And so Chennedy Carter, she ended up going overseas to China, which she's gone to China, before, but she went back to China in the offseason, and she dominated this past season in China. This is someone who was just, again, a fan-freaking-tastic player. According to Kennedy Report, a Twitter account that's like dedicated to all things Chennedy Carter, said that Chennedy Carter finished the season in China with averaging 32 points a game, 3 steals a game, playing 31 minutes a game. This is someone who had 6 40-plus points games. And then this is someone who had a 50-plus point game. She was a scoring champion. She was the steals champion in her league. And she was just all around dominant. Like she went over there and she dominated. Absolutely dominated. Okay? And, that's great. She's always been that type of player. This is someone who is a quick guard. She's crafty. She is fun. As I said, you can compare her to Allen Iverson because, yeah, she can do her thing. She can absolutely do her thing. But after she was balling overseas in China, no WNBA, or at least that we know of, no WNBA team signed her. No one signed her. And so it was like, we were waiting. Okay, who's going to sign her? Is Chicago going to get her? And then Chicago was like, nah, we're not gonna extend an offer to her. And it was like, okay, well, what other team needs a flashy guard? Is someone else going to pick her up? No one did. And so Chennedy Carter had to figure out what to do next. Okay, and she's like, actually, let me go to Mexico. Let me go to Mexico. So she has a fresh start with her new team. And in game 1, she did her thing. Now, Chennedy Carter will probably win the MVP of this league over in Mexico. Right? She's probably going to be the best player on the floor every single day. The move to Mexico was not totally about chasing the next great opportunity with the biggest bag, because I don't think. Now, numbers have not been released about what exactly Chennedy Carter is getting paid over in Mexico, but like, I would say it's probably safe to say that it's not what it would be if she played in the WNBA. This was not about chasing a money bag, I don't think. This was about her, in some ways, being shut out of the WNBA. Now, not from a league perspective, but individual teams thinking like, hey, actually, we know you're great, but we're actually going to pass on having you on our team. Now, that sucks, right? You know, as a fan of Chennedy Carter, as someone who just truly loves the talent we get with her on the court, it's a bummer, right? Because, you know, she's maybe blacklisted for the time being. Not officially, of course, but, you know, unofficially. You know, and yes. There are things that she has done that has kind of led us to this point, or at least perceived things that she has done that sort of led us to this point. We'll ultimately see what happens. But here's the thing about Chennedy Carter. One thing is clear. Chennedy Carter, hey, she's not waiting around for permission to come back to the WNBA. She's like, I want to hoop. And I'm gonna go where people want me to hoop. And since no one in the WNBA wanted her, okay, she went over to Mexico. And you can best believe we will see Chennedy Carter again over in China, because it seems like she had a great time the last what was it, 2 seasons she was over there. And so, yeah. We'll see. You know, she'll go over there, she'll be over there, and she'll dominate, and it'll be great. We'll see what she does from here on out. But I will say this, I am rooting for Chennedy Carter. I am. I'm rooting that eventually she does make her return back to the WNBA. You know? I because like she's just a great talent. Like, she really is. Now, is she someone who's misunderstood? Yes. Is she someone who has made, you know, some mistakes in what she has done and what she has said? Yeah. I'm sure she'd probably say that, you know? But, you know, what's not up for debate is her talent. And in Mexico, she's making sure we don't forget it. Okay? She is making sure. So what do you think? Should the WNBA teams give Chennedy Carter another shot, or is her future just overseas from now on? Let me know your thoughts in the chat and in the comments. Okay. We got a super chat real quick. Thank you so much. Crank that for the super chat. Says her attitude outweighs her talent, locker room, yeah. Wait, hold on. Actually, let me reread that. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. Her attitude outweighs her talent, locker room problem. All right. I think you're trying to. Sorry, I'm like slightly confused at what you're trying to say. Are you trying to say that she should be in should be in the WNBA because her talent is better than like whatever else that is happening around her? And if so, that's up to each individual team to determine. All right. But I can tell you one thing: WNBA teams seem to be way more interested in PR now more than they ever have before, and you know that's something to note. That is something to note. Tulip thinks someone will pick her up mid-season when they need some wins. We'll see. Yeah. I think that would be fun. I think that would be fun. All right. Anyway, let's move on to the final topic. I got some more not so good news for you all, and it involves the Connecticut Sun. So, the Connecticut Sun have a game today. The Connecticut Sun has a game today against the New York Liberty. And in that game, they have a lot of people out. Diamond Shields is out with an ankle injury. Layla Khan is still overseas. You got Misa Morrow out with a right knee injury. You got Amy Okonkwo, who is questionable with a hip injury. And then we have Sanaya Rivers, who is not with the team. Again, please pray for Sanaya Rivers and her family. She recently lost her mom. So please, please, please pray for her. So that's very, very understandable. That Sanaya Rivers is not with the team. Very, very understandable. But I wanted to just, when I saw that come through yesterday, I was like, actually, I think we need to do another update on injury status. I think we need to do another update, guys. We need to do another update because, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff happening. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of stuff happening when it comes to injuries, and we got to talk about it because, yeah, it's just too much. It's just too much. And now I'm just wondering, when in the world will we see fully what this Connecticut Sun team has to offer? Like, just because of the sheer injuries, like we will have no idea really what this team looks like coming into the actual WNBA season, and how good or how bad this team is, which is in a lot of ways unfortunate. So what I wanted to do is actually not just look at this squad, but I actually wanted to just look at all of the squads and give you all a quick, like, where are we for everybody, okay? A quick where are we for everybody. All right. So let me show my screen and we will get right into it. All right. Here we go. Here is the current injury report for the WNBA. And we're just gonna go down the line. For the Atlanta Dream, Cheyenne Sellers is listed as day-to-day, same as Jordan Canada. Their estimated return time is on May the 10th. For Mariah Jefferson with the Chicago Sky, she is listed as day-to-day. She will be back on May the 10th. For Connecticut, we have what I just talked about. All right, we have what I just talked about. Layla Khan, not with the team. She's with her overseas commitments. Sanaya Rivers, out. Personal reasons. Anissa Morrow, out. You guys get the picture. But what's interesting is that it lists May 18th for these players. May 18th for Layla Khan, Sanaya Rivers, Anissa Morrow, Diamond Shields. Now, could these players get back sooner? Sure. But that's what is listing as their estimated time, which means that to start the season, the Connecticut Sun are going to be down. They're going to be down bad. For the Dallas Wings, we got Ty Harris, who is out. Or, I'm sorry, not out, day-to-day. She is day-to-day. Estimated return is the 16th. And the same thing for Louisa Geisel-Solder. She's also day-to-day and will be back on May the 16th. For the Golden State Valkyries, you got we have their newest draftee, Eustace Yosite, who is going to be with this team in September. Well, it says, and the comment is that Yosite will not play with the Valkyries this season, which makes sense. So yeah. Anyway, so she's on the list, but she's likely not even gonna play with this team this year. We got, for the Las Vegas Aces, we got Elizabeth Kitley and Dana Evans, both listed as day-to-day. They both should be back on May the 17th. Megan Gustafson is going to be out until July 13th, and Cheyenne Parker-Tyus out until August 15th. Of course, Cheyenne Parker-Tyus is pregnant, so that right now is the estimated time that she'll be back, but who knows. It may be longer, it may be shorter, who knows. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Sparks, where Julie Alleman is out. She should be back on May the 16th. Cameron Brink is also out. Remember, guys, she is still recovering from her ACL tear last year. It's looking like she should be back on June the 1st. All right, Minnesota Lynx. Kayla McBride is still day to day. She should be back tomorrow. Same thing for Diamond Miller. Next up, we have Jessica Shepard, who was out. She should also be back tomorrow. And then Aubrey Griffin, I believe, just had surgery, so she's going to be out as well. All right, now on to the New York Liberty. We got Leonie Febich, who's just out, returned May 17th. Brianna Stewart, remember, guys, she had that slight procedure after the Unrivaled season was over. They're estimating that she should be back on May the 12th. Benigna Jelani Hamilton, guys, remember, she is out, and likely she will have a suspended contract, okay? Because she is going to be out for a very long time. I don't know why it says estimated return May the 1st. She's not going to be back. No. Seattle Storm, we got Dominique Malunga, day-to-day. Same thing for Gabby Williams and Ezzie Madmagor. And Katie Lou Samuelson is out. Remember, she just tore her ACL. And then finally, we have the Washington Mystics, where Shakira Austin is out with a leg injury. She should be back on May the 16th. Georgia Amore is out. She tore her ACL. She's out for the entire year. And Aaliyah Edwards is out as well. She should be back on May the 16th. I don't know why it says May the 1st for Georgia Amore. She's out for the whole year. Anyway, that's that. I wanted to just quickly walk through what's going on when it comes to injuries because it's not good. It's not good. A lot of injuries, a lot of players out for these teams. And again, we will not know what these teams can really do until closer to midseason because so many players are out and will be out to start. Okay? Oh. All right, guys, that's the stream. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. I do want to thank you all so much for rocking with me. If y'all could, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend that Quita Loves Sports is on the internet. And she is talking about what's going on in the world of women's basketball. So if that is your thing, make sure to rock with me every single day. Again, apologies for being a little bit late today. But I appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me. Salute to the awesome people of the internet. I think do we got a super chat? Oh, we do. Thank you so much, Banji, for the super chat. Says, Quita, that person just missed the period. I think it was her attitude outweighs her talent. Locker room problem. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes when I'm reading stuff, I'm processing in my head and I'm just like, wait, what? Thanks for the super chat, Banji. Appreciate you. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day. Y'all have a great Friday. And I will see y'all tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow. I love ya. Tomorrow, you're only a day away. See y'all the next one. Bye-bye.